As he steps out the gate, wearing the same, they said he'd never change, and no one can blame them. Been in half his life, and no one believes in him. Well, he changed within, he planned out his whole life. He can't begin his old life, it haunts him. Reason is easy, it's no one believes in him. Why are we so quick to judge? There's no such thing as a sin without a history, or a sinner without a future. We'll just have to make it right this time. Yeah, there's no such thing as a sin without a history, or a sinner without a future. We'll just have to make it right this time. The cuffs are off, but chains are still dragging. Chin is held high, he never imagined one more mistake, expect it to happen. So where is he now? No one remembers. Hope started high and shot down like airplanes. His fate was sealed the day he left. Why are we so quick to judge? There's no such thing as a sin without a history, or a sinner without a future. We'll just have to make it right this time. Yeah, there's no such thing as a sin without a history, or a sinner without a future. We'll just have to make it right this time. So this life is too much for him. He'd rather be locked away, dreaming of better days. There's no such thing as a sin without a history, or a sinner without a future. We'll just have to make it right this time. Yeah, there's no such thing as a sin without a history, or a sinner without a future. We'll just have to make it right this time.
Good tune. I like that a lot. That is Saints and Sinners from LoveHateHero and their 2009 release, their most recent album out in stores and available online, of course, called America Underwater. Welcome to Remote Transmission on IPMNation.com, on the IPMNation.com live channel. It's about 5 minutes after 11 p.m. in the Eastern Time Zone. So thanks very much for joining us. Our featured artist tonight is LoveHateHero from... they're on Ferret Music, and they are from Burbank, California. But they're, they're a national act. They're out touring the world, and I know they've been in Mexico recently. And they are, I say featured artists and not necessarily guest, because they are supposed to be joining us tonight for an interview. However, it did come to my attention at the last minute that there might be a slight logistical issue. Because they are out on tour, they may not be able to call in tonight on the show. So we'll see what happens. We've got our fingers crossed that they'll be able to make it on. But like I said, there may be a slight problem. And anyone who's listened to this show or listened to shows like this knows that sometimes when you're dealing with trying to coordinate interviews with artists that are actually out on tour, when you are out on tour, you have a million things to worry about, not just getting on and off stage, but there's a lot that goes into it. And unfortunately, sometimes things just don't run on schedule. And this is only a 30-minute show, so we'll see if they make that window. And if they don't, we'll have to have them on in the future, but we'll see what happens. But I really like these guys a lot. I'd never heard them until recently. I'd always been aware of them. But really good band. They get kind of pegged as being emo. They kind of get put in that box. Part of it's probably the image that they have visually, of course, and they're young guys and they have those hairstyles, and but to me they're almost more emo core might be the term. I almost want to say emo metal, but that's not a term I think anyone recognizes, even though it makes sense to me. They do have that emo vibe a little bit, but they're heavier. They have a tougher sound than a lot of these other bands. Certainly more so than Good Charlotte and stuff like that. I mean, these guys really, really excellent songwriters, and they're definitely not sleepwalking through it. And some of their stuff too. You've got these long Iron Maiden style guitar solos, which are really, really cool, which obviously shows some of their metal influence. And on the back of their current disc, America Underwater, one of the guys is actually wearing an Iron Maiden shirt, so wearing their influences on their sleeves, I guess. But why don't we play another track? And like I said, hopefully these guys will call in, but like I said, there may be an issue. I know they're on the West Coast right now, and they're on tour, and they're very, very busy. But let's see. We're going to play the title track from their current disc, America Underwater. So this being the title track, of course, it is called America Underwater here on Remote Transmission on IPMNation.com, on the IPMNation.com live channel. Once again, this is Love Hate Hero. Short song, but hey, ready for the radio. That's America Underwater from Love Hate Hero. Their current disc is also called America Underwater. And we're playing them tonight here on remote transmission on IPMNation.com, on the IPMNation.com live channel. Like I said, those guys are scheduled to call in tonight, but we did get word that there might be a little bit of a logistical problem, so we'll give it a few more minutes. We're not wrapping up the show quite yet, so we'll see if they have a chance to call in. Like I said, they are out on tour, and as anyone who's ever been on tour knows, it is an all-consuming thing, and things have a funny way of not running on time, especially when you're dealing with musicians and creative people in general. So while everyone's listening, I would remind everyone, if you're in the New Hampshire area, or even close to the New Hampshire area, we have a huge event coming up here. IPMNation.com and Norm and Friends is hosting an evening with Norm and Ramona, and it's this Friday, the 29th. It starts early. It starts at 4 p.m., goes all the way to 10 p.m. It's a huge thing at the Clarion Hotel on the Amistag Bridge on Front Street here in Manchester, New Hampshire, where we are currently broadcasting from. And it's going to be a big deal. We have Norm Moody, of course, who IPMNation.com listeners are familiar with. He is the host of Norm Unfiltered, which I believe is currently the number 4 rated show here on the station. And, of course, Norm and Friends. And Norm is a psychic medium. He also does channeling. He'll be doing some channeling on stage that night. Ramona Garcia, who is a world-renowned psychic, and she also does channeling. I will be there doing some stage hypnosis. It's going to be a big deal. We're going to have all kinds of stuff. It goes from 4 to 10. You can also come in and get readings done. We'll have several other readers there, as well as vendors, and all kinds of cool stuff. Some IPMNation.com personalities will be on hand. You can get tickets right here on IPMNation.com. If you get them in advance, they're only $10. At this point, if you order them in advance, we'll have them for you at the door. You know, we'll have your name on hand so that we can just, it's a little late to mail them out, but you can still get them in advance. Like I said, go ahead and purchase them, hit the events page on the site, and we'll just have them waiting for you at the door. It is $12 at the door, so definitely you want to buy those in advance, and that gets you into the channeling and all the cool stuff that we're going to be doing on stage. If you're just coming to have a reading done with one of the readers in the other room, that is free. Admission is free to that part of the event. You have to pay for the reading, of course, but if you just want to go in there and check out some of the readers and decide to get a reading from someone, admission is free for that part of it. So definitely come up or come down, depending on where you are, this Friday. It's and feel free to dress up too. Halloween costumes absolutely encouraged for an evening with Norm and Ramona from 4 to 10 p.m. at the Clarion Hotel on the Amistag Bridge, Front Street here in Manchester, New Hampshire. I would remind everyone, too, that we are broadcasting from Manchester, New Hampshire, Styling Souls at 832 Elm Street, which is where most of the IPMNation.com programming does emanate from. And tomorrow, as we do every Wednesday, we'll have Norm and Friends on live from 4 to 6 p.m. You can not only log on and listen to it, but actually watch the show. You can call in. It's a really good time. So that's 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. And, oh boy, my throat's starting to dry up. So you know what? I think we're going to play one more track and wrap up the show. I don't think those guys are going to be able to make it onto the phone tonight. So we're going to play one more track. This is, let's see. This is a track called Pants Off, Dance Off. So a mildly provocative title from Love Hate Hero. And definitely check us out. Oh, be sure to come back Sunday evening at 10 p.m. for the first ever Sunday edition of Remote Transmission. No, I'm sorry, it's the second ever Sunday edition. And I will be interviewing a gentleman by the name of Aaron Cloutier. And Aaron is an amazing musician. He's one of these dudes who can play any instrument, and I was actually in a band with him for about 2 weeks. Maybe we'll get into that story Sunday night. But Aaron also just recently finished engineering the new El Nino disc. So any El Nino fans will definitely be interested to hear what Aaron has to say. Anybody who's a fan of metal is at least aware of El Nino. Great band. I saw them live once, and I was just amazed. So I'm really looking forward to talking to Aaron and kind of getting the inside scoop. And if you'd like to know what else we have coming up on Remote Transmission, just take a look at the Remote Transmission page here on IPMNation.com for the full schedule. And I think that's going to just about do it. So I will see you all back here hopefully tomorrow afternoon for Norm and Friends. And just to remind you that all of our live shows are available for streaming and download absolutely anytime on demand here on IPMNation.com. And don't forget to come back Thursday night at 10:45 p.m. for Verbal Ejaculation with Dan and Chris. And hopefully we'll see you Friday night at the Clarion in Manchester. So we're going to wrap up. Sorry we didn't get to the interview. We will reschedule those guys, hopefully at a more convenient time. Or better yet, if they're touring the East Coast, we can maybe actually get them into the studio live. So we're going to wrap up. This is Pants Off, Dance Off from Love Hate Hero here on Remote Transmission on IPMNation.com.
Waiting here for you with good intentions. A date agreed to, and then we never keep most of